Hi guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in. It's nice. So this is going to just be a couple quick astrology notes here for this time period from today when I'm filming this, July 23rd to August 23rd. All right, so all are welcome. And the astrology notes are also really important just because it can kind of tell you what's coming up, what may affect all of the signs, all of us, right? Since we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each individual of our birth charts. So yeah, also wanted to say that after I do these astrology notes, probably I'll take a brief break and then I'll be back with the Leo reading and the Virgo reading. Okay, so always come back and check that out too, or join me there live in a little bit after this video if you want to. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the astrology notes. All right, so again, I hope everyone is doing well at this time. All right, so we have for today, when I'm filming this, and let me make sure I turn this down a little bit so you can hear me okay. Hopefully you can. But yes, so for today, starting with today, July 23rd, we have the asteroid series is going to be entering into Leo, right? Since we are officially, as of yesterday or today, depending on where you are in the world, but usually around July 22nd, July 23rd is officially Leo season, right? So happy birthday to all the sun sign Leos out there, all right? So what does Ceres, the asteroid, represent? So she is much like the Greek god Demeter, or goddess, sorry, Demeter. So she represents agriculture, cooking, gardening, nutrition, but it's always about some type of nurturing energy or mother-like energy. So it can be about self-care, it can be about you or other people nurturing each other, vice versa, or you just taking care of yourself or them taking care of themselves as well. But it's going to be, you know, going into that Leo sign. So Leo is known for being a fire sign, right? So they're very passionate, and creativity is really high in that energy or the vibration of Leo, right? So it could also be how can I be more creatively, let's say, you know, looking at nutrition, looking at the foods I'm eating, looking at how, again, I nurture myself or nurture others. But also when we talk about Leo energy, kind of as like a stereotype or an example, is that Leo energy sometimes wants to be center stage, right? So it's kind of bringing, in a way, those themes around to the forefront, to the center stage, okay? So really good, you know, placement there. I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with that. So this could be, you know, starting around today, but could be influencing for much longer, okay? So everyone is affected a little bit differently. But yeah, it's really cool to look at those things and always to find out how you can be in better health with yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, all those things. All right. So moving forward, on July 25th, we have Juno is going to be starting its retrograde. And so Juno is about our partnerships, soulmates, commitments, those kind of things, right? Any type of relationship, whether it's romantic, when we talk about soulmates, right? Or marriage, of course, but also commitments as far as with our friends, our family, with our work, our career, etc. So anytime when we talk about retrogrades too, it means, yes, the planet is going backwards, but it doesn't also necessarily mean that things are always going to just be bad around those times. So with the retrogrades, we usually say, or other people have said as well, that they're redos, right? So it's like, where can there be adjustments, redos, and changes around partnerships, relationships, marriage, soulmates, and commitments, okay? All right, so now moving forward on July 28th, we have the new moon in Leo. So a lot of times people say that you should start your new goals, or you set your intentions or your manifestations or your spell work, your prayers, etc. around the new moon, because that's when it's the smallest, right? And it's shaped like a C. I don't necessarily believe that. I believe that intention is the most important. You should always do it when it feels right for you. But with that being said, right, it is the smallest at the new moon. So as it's growing, then your prayer intention or spell work and manifestation is then going to grow to its fullest point when you get to the full moon. Okay. So, we always mention, of course, what the moon is doing if we're talking about planets and asteroids and all those things. So, I will just leave it there and we move on forward. Actually, on the same day, okay, on that July 28th, when we talk about the new moon in Leo that I just mentioned, we also have Jupiter is now going to be retrograde, and I believe it's until like December or something. I should have wrote this down, so give me a second just look up just to be sure. Let's see. Jupiter retrograde 2022. And that's not it. Dates. How do I put dates? Okay, so just kidding. It's not December, it's November. So it's a good thing I look it up. So that's a month difference, right? So it's going to be retrograding from July 28th to November 23rd. So, I was kind of close. It's basically feeling like the end of the year. All right. When we talk about, again, retrogrades, we're talking about redos. But when we talk about Jupiter in particular, we're talking about the planet of luck, right? And Jupiter expands everything that it touches. So at this time, when we are going through this Jupiter retrograde, it's going to start. It started back, I think, May 10th or around there. It was in the sign of Aries. So it's going to, since Jupiter moves really slowly, it's going to continue to move through Aries, but it's also, because it's going backwards, it's going to move backwards through Aries and then a little bit into Pisces as well. So when we talk about it going through those two signs, it can kind of remind us to be less reliant on our luck, okay, and more like, okay, maybe it's not the most favorable time, or maybe my luck isn't as strong as it once was in certain particular ways. So I'm going to rely more on my physical actions that I take, or the other person's physical actions that they take, or everyone, or the environment, okay, all those things. So it also kind of asks you, what are your big picture goals, okay, because it's going through Aries and Pisces, right? Aries is very entrepreneurship energy. It's the first sign of the zodiac, right? Pisces is that Neptunian energy. So it's a kind of really interesting combination if you think about it. But basically, another note that I have here are, what are your internal clues? So if we think about Neptune being more inwardly guided, let's say, or the high priestess mode, and we talk about tarot, or the hermit in the tarot as well. What are your internal clues that your body, your spirit, your mind are giving you? Okay. And also, when we talk about Pisces and Aries, with this Jupiter retrograde, it can be like, what is the healing? Where is my healing? Where is their healing? Right? Always start with yourself first, of course. But also, where is my compassion for myself and compassion for others? All right. So I could go on and on about it, but we got other notes to talk about. So that's just a brief little thing that I have written down here. All right. Now, moving forward, we have on July 31st is Uranus is conjunct the north node in Taurus. Okay. So Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, right? So we think of rebellious energy, technology, innovation, right? Also kind of entrepreneurship spirit or energy. Okay. But when it's conjuncting the north node in Taurus, I can't talk today. When it's conjuncting the north node in Taurus, this is around, how can we have the north node in Taurus, which represents the typical, let's say, themes of an Earth sign Taurus, of stability, right, of being grounded, but also how can I pair that with the Uranus energy of innovation, rebellious energy, right? So it's like, how can we have the Earth energies in with also the air energies at the same time? Okay, so It's interesting to note when we talked about earlier, also too, when we said that the Jupiter retrograde, right? Um, I always tell people find out where you have Jupiter in your individual birth chart. That will be a really good example about where you can have your luck and your money and things that will benefit you in that way, right? So then you could also say, well, where's my Taurus energy? Where's my Uranus energy? Okay, if you have particularly your Uranus energy, or if it's in a particular house, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that it is going to be definitely that this is happening. This Uranus conjunct North Node in Taurus during the Leo season too. So adding that fire element of Leo can be really nice, right? So it's like again, how can I bring in this rebellious, innovative, creative energy with the Taurus grounding stability energy that maybe is a little more stubborn or not as open in certain ways, but how can I bring them both together to find a balance there? Okay, so that could be really interesting. All right. And again, some people may feel this days ahead or weeks or even months, or some people feel it afterwards. Everyone's different, or maybe you don't feel it at all, but it is well, you will feel it, but you won't necessarily know that it's something to do with astrology, right? Maybe you see other people playing out these things in front of you. All right. So anyway, let's keep going though. All right. So after that, we go from July 31st to now August 4th. So Mercury is going to be entering into Virgo. And so Mercury is one of Virgo's rulers, right? And so, we always usually think of Mercury with only Gemini, but the old school astrology says that it also rules Virgo. Okay, so it's going to be in a complementary placement there. Okay, so Mercury is again about our communications, electronics, to name a few, but how do we communicate on a base level with others and with ourselves? And how can we lean into the Virgo energy about around maybe how can I make my communications more organized, more grounded? Yeah, so I just ended there because, like I said, I could go on and on about each thing. All right. Now, moving forward on the next day after that, on August 5th, we have a first quarter moon. So, again, we always talk about what the moon's doing. And then moving forward on August 11th, Venus is going to be entering into Leo. So, Venus, of course, is matters of love, beauty, higher forms of wealth. Okay. So, when it enters into Leo, the sign that is their season, right? Leo season, there could be more fiery passion around those themes of love, beauty, and higher forms of wealth. Okay. And so things could be more explosive or more surprising or more spotlighted again with the love, beauty, and higher forms of asset, money, wealth, abundance, whatever that means for you. All right. And then moving forward on the same day that Venus enters into Leo, we of course have the full moon in Aquarius. All right. So I didn't look up ahead of time what that moon is called. Just full moon in August, Farmer's Almanac. That's usually the traditional kind of place where you can find out what the official moon is called. Okay, so let's see. So, right, we had the buck moon, 11th. Stragon moon? Stragon moon. Okay. You're giving me definition. Okay, so full moon names, right, date back to Native Americans of North America. Tribes kept track of the seasons by giving distinctive names to each recurring full moon. Full moon names were applied to the entire month in which it occurred, blah, 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 blah. European settlers followed that custom and created some of their own names. Okay, what is this one called? We know, but what does it mean? Let's see. Oh, I have to scroll down to that one. Okay, I see. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, so the full Stairgon moon on August. The fishing tribes are given credit for the naming of this moon since Stragon, a large fish of the Great Lakes and other major bodies of water, were most readily caught during this month. Okay, so it's the name of a fish, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. A few tribes knew it as the full red moon because the full moon rises reddish through the sultry haze. It's also called the green corn moon or grain moon. Okay, so there you go. Very interesting. All right, but let's go back to the astrology notes. Where were we? So we talked about the full moon in Aquarius, right? And so, one last thing I want to say about the full moon in Aquarius is that remember we had the Uranus conjunct North Node in Taurus at the end of July on July 31st, right? So Uranus is one of the rulers of Aquarius. So again, you're going to have kind of this air energy of Aquarius during its full moon culmination energy during Leo season. So a lot of fire and air stuff. So, as I say this with love because I am a sun sign Sagittarius, and I have lots of Sagittarius in other areas of my chart, and I have Leo somewhere in my chart as well, just like everybody. But sometimes when you add too much, let's say air or wind to fire, it can spread, right? So maybe for some, just like you would say for any full moon, that emotions can be larger than life, right? So watch themes around anger or frustration, outbursts, that kind of thing. But generally, that would just be like a small side note because there's lots of great qualities of Aquarius energy, okay, or Uranus energy too, of what was I saying earlier? Rebellious energy, innovation, technology, just to name a few. Okay. All right. So moving forward here, we have on August 19th, we have the last quarter moon. And then the next day on August 20th, Mars enters into air sign Gemini. So this is going to be, some really nice energy, I feel, because when Mars is going to be leaving Taurus and going into Gemini. Did I say Taurus? I meant to say Cancer. Wait, no, Taurus was right. Yes. Sorry. Mars is leaving Taurus and going into Gemini. Mars is typically, just like when I was talking about Leo energy, Mars in particular is, right, the god of war, the Greek god of war. So you think lower vibrational frequencies in Mars, you would be talking about anger, frustrations, fighting war, right? The higher vibrational frequency of Mars would be passion, creativity, go-getter, energy, somebody who also, or the energy, if we're not talking about a person, right, but just energy in general, someone who is really self-sufficient in a lot of ways. So when you partner all that energy with the air sign energy of Gemini, it can be really nice to have the more logical air sign energy coming in to balance out with that fiery kind of passionate energy of Mars. Okay. So yeah, you can always I put in, I forgot to say in the beginning of the video, in the description box below, right, I have a link for all the astrology notes for the rest of the year. So Astrology Cafe does a really good job of doing that. And on their site, they also have the exact times that these astrology transits are happening and even more detail. Or if you're really interested in one astrology note, you can also do your own research as well and find out, what other people are saying or more in depth about your particular sign, your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, etc. All right. So moving forward, we only have basically 2 left. Okay. We have, yes. So on August 21st, Vesta, which is also an asteroid, is going to be retrograding and it's going to be entering into Aquarius. Okay. So Vesta is about our aspirations, our plans, and our goals. Okay. Just to say it in a simple way. So it is also retrograding. So retrograding again, or just redo changes, revisions, revise, all the reads, right, for the retrograde. And it's going to be entering into air sign Aquarius. So your aspirations, your plans, and your goals could be going back around Aquarius themes of technology, innovation, rebellious energy. How can I use that energy to help me with my plans, my aspirations, and my goals? Okay. And again, when it comes in with that retrograde energy, the Vesta retrograde energy, it's like, how can I how can I revise, adjust things with that in mind, to keep things more open and more loose with the Aquarius energy. And then, then hopefully when that Vesta retrograde goes forward later, you can have those things already kind of set out and have like not necessarily a plan, but like some brainstorms of a couple different ways that it could be helpful for you, right? So it's always like, the astrology is there to help you and to help all of us, right? Astrology is basically patterns that have been done and are, the patterns are patterns, right? So they keep happening. They're just cycles. They're just, at some point it's going to happen again. So how can I take these patterns, if I know them ahead of time, to help guide me in that energy that's happening, not just for me personally, but everybody on, planet Earth, whether they pick up on it or not. Okay. All right. So moving forward, that's pretty much it. But yeah, so on August 22nd, we will be entering into Virgo season. All right, so that's cool, right? We got the Virgo energy coming August 22nd. So that's pretty much where I've stopped the astrology notes. I think I said till the 23rd, but I believe I stopped at the 22nd just because I don't think anything was going on the 23rd. But let me double check here real quickly to make sure that's correct. Hold on a second. Let's see. Let me scroll down here real quickly. Let's see. Yep, that's true. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah, there's nothing on August 23rd. Okay. All right. So anyway, thank you guys as always for your energy, for your likes, for your shares, for your subscriptions. All are great for you, free ways to let me know that you enjoy this content and this channel, and it just shares it with others. Okay. So if you haven't subscribed already and you want to, all you have to do is click on the little bell icon. Actually, I think it's on this side for you guys. And you just make sure it's blue and it's active. And as long as you have a YouTube account, it'll just notify you, of course, when I put out new videos. So I'm going to take a little bit of a brief break here. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards for Leo, and we're going to come back in a few minutes, and we'll be doing the Leo and Virgo readings. All right. So you guys take care, and I will see you guys in a little bit. All right. Bye.